live. Okay, perfect. Hello there, everyone. What is up? Welcome back to the Yandere Games. Sorry. Usually I broadcast early, but I had to go shopping out for a few supplies. Cause, well, good news. I'm actually gonna stay here for the break, which means that we'll be able to do the streaming for the entire week. So it won't be. So, yay, that's a plus. Although I'll be working a lot. But I'm going to be working this week a lot more, considering it's Black Friday week. By the way, guys, I have more good news. I was actually able to buy White Day for the sale. I forgot I had extra money after buying the supplies I needed. So, good news, we got White Day. That'll be coming soon. I think this Wednesday, since I'll be free, I'll have nowhere to go, I'll host another streamathon for you guys, and we'll be including White Day as one of the games we get to play together. So, back to the Yandere games. If you remember correctly, in 999, the trend route as I like to call it, we solved 2 puzzles, and Snake revealed some truth about the Yandere game 9 years ago. Apparently, during the first Yandere game, 18 siblings were selected. Nine brothers and sisters were put inside the gigantic, and 9 brothers and sisters were put inside a building in Nevada. If I remember correctly, Snake was one of the 9 participants in the gigantic, and Clover was in Building Q in Nevada. How the game worked was that in order to produce the morphogenetic field thing, you had to be put in a game where you risk your life. And there were 2 participants in that. Snake was the one who had to risk his life, and Clover was the one who had to help him. Basically, the building actually was a giant replica of the gigantic, and in order to solve the puzzles, the participants in Nevada had to solve the puzzles and then give instructions to everyone who was on the gigantic. And just like the second Yandere game, which we're participating in now, they had 9 hours, or else the ship would sink and kill all the other 9 participants. Unfortunately, the news said, and also Snake mentioned that the news said there were 16 kids there were 16 kids altogether, but there were 2 siblings who were unaccounted for, and apparently a girl died on the gigantic, and her name was Akane, and Junpei assumes that it's our Akane, aka June, that was in that ship that died. But we think it's gotta be impossible. If June really did die on the ship that day, then who's this June that we've gotten to know? Who's this Akane? But anyway, I think the truths are going to be revealed, because where we stopped off last time after solving the puzzle in the study that incorporated all the other puzzles, Seven took a look at that picture and his memory finally came back, and I think he was going to tell us exactly what happened in the first ever Yandere game 9 years ago. All of the details that weren't included that Snake didn't mention. So, that's it for the recap. Let's jump right back into it. God, that's loud.
Let me tell you what happened.
Seven hastily drew a shaking hand across his mouth and began to speak.
Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo. From the right, the other 3 are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Kubota. Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man. And Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
Realization began to dawn on Junpei, along with the pressing
How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory back.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it.
Seven rubbed the scar on his chin.
You really want to know?
Of course.
Me too.
Snake was the only one who didn't voice any sort of agreement. It looked at Junpei as if he was simply waiting to see where 7 said of recovery might take them.
This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me a good 3 days to tell you everything.
Well, we don't have 3 days.
Just give us the short version, alright?
Please.
Short version, huh?
The big man pulled off his hat and scratched his head. He made a face and put his hat back on.
Alright, fine. I'll give it a shot. No promises, though.
Junpei and Clover nodded earnestly.
I'm a detective. It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me a lone wolf type. I hold to my own code, because I think doing what's right is more important than doing what you're told. That's why I followed my gut that night. A slim lead brought me to the wharf. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had been cold as fuck, and I could barely see squat. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings, all of them children. It all had one thing in common. A history of visits to one particular hospital. A hospital under the management of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. And my investigation had turned up evidence that Cradle had been involved in the kidnappings. After a little sweet-talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle. My source told me this.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
So I headed to the wharf. From the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags.
The missing children.
I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand.
Don't move.
I felt metal touch the back of my head.
Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. It'd be easy to get away with it, too. Just tie an anchor to your feet, and no one would find you for a week. That what you want? The fish here would love a meal.
Well, damn, aren't you a badass?
I kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck.
A drug?
A needle.
That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I?
Damn, someone was
Small,
hella
shabby
young.
bed, a dirty sink. A toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... it won't open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm kind of cleaning up while I'm doing this.
Huh. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying. But I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid. Oh. No, it was several. I hear 5, or 6, maybe more. Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit, but I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold on. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then... Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch? I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face. So I wiped it off and crawled inside. The first bit or so was tight. I had a wriggle on my belly. It wind up eventually, and there was space for me to crawl along on my hands and knees. I went from crawling like a worm in dirt to skittering like a bug. Couldn't say it was much better, but I'd take what I could get. And when I'd been in the thing long enough to start wondering where it'd take me... A massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal door had just been slammed shut. Then, there was a voice. What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with incinerator is bad news. Then, almost as if that was a cue, I heard a mess of young-sounding voices. A bunch of them were straight up screaming in terror. And all the sounds together made a howl that made the hair on my neck stand straight up. Damn it! What the hell is going on here? I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant racket, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids were screaming on the other side. I found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is this place? I couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome up top, and there had to be about 9 walls, all the same size. Up in the ceiling was an upside-down funnel, almost like a chimney. I looked down. There they were. The kids I'd been searching for. They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent. For the moment, from surprise and fear. Scared of the room or me, I couldn't tell. Probably both, actually. Not like I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shitless. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kids. Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood there, frozen. Well, except one. He was a boy, slightly older than the others, in a private school uniform.
That looks like Santa.
Who the hell are you?
He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. It looked like they relaxed some the second I got the words out.
How are you gonna help us?
Where's the exit?
There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there...
He kinda cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he changed his mind.
Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death.
Burned to death?
Can't you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up soon. So...
The voice spoke again.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
They only had 15 minutes. I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. No way I could pull them up. Too big of a distance for any of us to reach. What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there! I'm gonna be right back!
What? Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here?
They just got frightened again. I'm not the best at that kind of thing, but I tried to reassure them with a smile. Don't worry, all right? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. I had to hurry. Well, as fast as I could on his hands and knees. Didn't take me long to get back to my cell. Still no way out of there, but I had a plan. I needed something from the room. When I got it, I dove back into the hole and took off towards the incinerator. Then... Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me. Back in the cell, I'd torn the bed sheets into strips and tied them together to make a rope. Alright, just tie that
Sorry,
around yourself,
but-
okay? I'll pull you up one at a time.
It was sorry, but I got the job done.
Right!
Wait a sec. Something was off. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered.
I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left.
What? You're telling me you opened that door?
That's what I said!
Then what the hell are you doing here?
We couldn't go with them.
Why not?
Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door...
He was in the middle of explaining.
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
The wall shook a bit from the voice bouncing around.
Look, that can wait, all right? Just get us out of here!
Right! Grabbed onto the rope. First one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie. Boy in a jacket came after. He said he'd climb up on his own. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when he was almost to me, we heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face was staring in.
God damn it! What's going on here? Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking kids?
The door opened, and a man stepped in looking half mad with fury. I recognized his face. I saw him many times in photos during my investigation. The man's name was Gintaro Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Gintaro?
Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope.
Yeah!
It was like he was an animal. He lunged for the rope. Hurry!
I know!
The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope.
You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit!
15 feet. 10. The second I could reach the kid, I grabbed him. I hauled him up and tossed him into the duct behind me.
No! No!
Hongo had lost it. His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face. He was really a terrifying devil or some kind of damn monster. I quickly reeled in the rope, leaving a furious Hongo yelling at me from the floor.
You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you compromise this experiment!
Experiment? What experiment?
Incineration will begin in 1 minute.
Hey, old man! What the hell are you doing? Hurry up!
The boy in the uniform was trying to get my attention. I may have thrown a salute in a raging asshole's face before I closed the door behind me. The boy's going back to the cell, so we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down. Everybody nodded and took turns sliding down it. The duct emptied us out into a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door. But the one on the right was familiar. It had black and yellow stripes, and a device next to it on the wall. A plate on it read, Incinerator. Incinerator?
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was the girl with the red tie who answered me. We were inside an incinerator?
Yeah, Hongo might still be there. It looks like it's been shut off, though.
Wait, what? If he's still in there...
Yeah, that's not good.
That meant we better... We gotta get out of here. Go to the other door, hurry! The kids started running, and I was close on their heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! Didn't need to tell them twice. Up and up and up. Feet pounded the steps. Our arms pumping fast. Going round and round and round. The devil was on our tail. The stairway kept going. We passed a couple of landings when the boy in the uniform suddenly spoke.
Yeah, that's definitely Santa and Snake.
Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us.
Akane?
Akane?
My kid sister. The girl with the red necktie.
Akane. That's strange. I didn't remember seeing that name on the list of missing kids.
Hey! Akane!
He kept his hands around his mouth and yelled.
Nobody answered him.
Maybe we outran her.
The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too. So did the other two kids. When did we do that?
Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them?
No, it's impossible.
Sorry, Grandpa. You keep going. I gotta go look for her downstairs.
He turned to go. Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I said wait! I don't think the kid even heard me. Fuck! I spun around to the boy in the jacket and the girl with the ponytail. I'm going after him. You two keep going, all right? You got it? The girl nodded and ran up the stairs. With the boy.
I'm going with you.
I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs. I could hear him following. We ran all the way to the bottom floor.
Okay, if the girl...
Kane was nowhere to be found.
If that really is a Kane, then that means... Santa took his kid's sister hostage? If that girl really is a Kane Kurashiki, then holy shit. That changes everything. If that really is Santa and Snake, who's the girl in the ponytail?
God damn it, where the hell did she go?
I could tell the kid was frustrated. And then suddenly...
Help me! Somebody help me!
we heard a girl's voice.
Akane!
The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the incinerator. We rushed in after him. I couldn't for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That bastard Hongo had Kane by the arm and was forcing her.
That is a Kane!
Come on, goddammit, move!
No, I don't want to! Let me go, please! Let go of me!
She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away. But Hongo was bigger and stronger. She wasn't gonna win.
Akane!
My brother roared with anger and charged toward Hongo.
Help me!
Ah! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her, still fighting him, into the incinerator.
He threw a Kane into
Before we
the
could
incinerator?
even blink, Hongo had leapt through the door after her. We saw him land inside. And then, the door slammed shut. We ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing open. But...
Fuck! It's no use! The goddamn thing won't move an inch!
he started slamming his fists against the door. He was close to shattering his knuckles with how hard he pounded on it.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
You came back!
Her voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror in it.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
Hongo would let a Kane die?
It's the same damn thing!
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, all right? We're gonna figure out a way to save you.
His words would have seemed like a sick joke to her if she'd been able to see how white and bloodless his face was right then.
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Please! Please help me! I'm really scared! I don't want to die, please! I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
It's gonna be all right. I'll figure something out. I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise!
It was torture listening to her sobbing on the other side of the door. Her brother was nearly crying himself. He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white.
That really is a Kane and Santa. And that means that... But that's impossible. Snake said Akane died 9 years ago. So then who's this Akane Kurashiki that we've come to know? It was silent. All they could hear was the creaking of the boat as it shifted in the water. They waited and waited, but Seven didn't continue.
What happened then?
Chippy couldn't wait any longer. He had to know. Seven looked at the floor.
Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that?
Akane never escaped the room. She died that day.
Then...
Yeah. Shit. If I'd known it was gonna be like this. I almost wish I hadn't remembered.
Seven shook his head, but there was something Junpei had
Hey,
to know.
are you sure?
Huh?
Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl, Akane, really...
Seven stared straight ahead at nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended, and we heard something burning. The fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up anymore. A few minutes passed. The door opened. The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet running in. We followed, too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made my lungs feel like they were on fire. It was like standing on hot asphalt. The air was wavering, and in the middle of the room, there it lay. The kid's legs were shaking so bad, I don't know how he managed to walk. I couldn't see his face, but his body somehow looked empty. Finally, he reached it. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then...
Akane's bracelet. Akane Kurashiki died that day. Junpei felt a cold lump form in the pit of his stomach. A feeling of sickening anticipation washed over him. He could feel his body shivering. He desperately did not want to know the answer. He feared he knew already, but he had to ask. He had to know for sure.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What's that?
The girl, Akane. What was her last name?
What does it matter to you?
Just tell me, okay? Please?
What was her last name? Seven looked at Junpei curiously and ran his tongue quickly over his dry lips.
Kurashiki. Her name was Akane Kurashiki.
It really is Akane. Then that means that Akane Kurashiki that we've known in this game is not really Akane Kurashiki. Something inside of Junpei stopped. He had no more words left. He had no more Junpei left. He was just a shell of flesh and bone. Seven turned to snake.
You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You are correct, Detective.
Junpei's mind was blank, withdrawn from the world. Somewhere far away, he could hear Seven and Snake talking.
Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago.
So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right?
Of course not.
He had to protect Clover.
Clover, what about you?
Hey, come on! You really think I'm working with Zero? I told you before, you idiot! I was in Nevada, in Building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you.
Her surprise seemed to be genuine. Seven regarded Clover for a moment and rubbed his chin thoughtfully.
Well, I guess I believe you.
Clover
All
nodded.
right, let me ask you another question.
He stuck his hand into his pockets and took a few steps. Then he stopped and turned to face them
Santa's
again.
real name is Aoi Kurashiki. He's Akane's brother.
Akane's brother. So that's his bond. If he's Aoi Kurashiki, who's the girl we've come to know as Akane Kurashiki? And why was she the first person Santa took hostage?
You know that?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Well, yes. I know Aoi Kurashiki was her brother, but I didn't know he was Santa. At least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Aoi.
When did you figure it out?
Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. It was only a short while ago, while we were leaving the library. When she told me that, I had a feeling.
Santa is Aoi? Akane Kurashiki, Jun's brother?
That spark caught flame in Junpei's leaden mind, and the fog began to clear. Like an engine beginning to turn, images and thoughts began to coalesce in his mind, coming faster and faster, forming bigger images, bigger thoughts. Junpei blinked. He was back.
There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like, a lot. But there is one thing I think we can say we know.
What's that?
The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake.
And that means the 4 men we found on this boat. The 9th man is Teriyaki Kubota. Guy X dressed up in Snake's clothes. That's Nijisaki. And the captain... And Cap... That... Well... We already know who that is. And Ace is Gentaro Hongo. The last man that Zero hasn't gotten his revenge on.
What?
Come on, man. What kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already?
Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, alright? Cut me some slack.
Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too. So why did these murders take place?
If Junpei is correct, and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's...
I think I can already piece this together. Santa, aka Zero, came up with this Nonary game to get revenge for what happened to his sister 9 years ago on the 4 men who created the first Nonary game. So, he kidnapped 8 other participants, so he could have 7 other participants beside Hongo, but there was only 3 people who he had real connections with. Junpei, okay, before the first Nonary game happened, Junpei had to have met Akane by then. So, he took Junpei and Snake and Clover, because Snake and Clover were the first 2 participants of the Nonary game. But that still doesn't explain his bond to Lotus. Why kidnap her? She didn't have any part of the first Nonary game. But everyone here has had a part of the Nonary game. Ace and the Knife Man were the 2 people who had the bond, who created the first Nonary game. Then there was... Snake and Clover were the first participants, and 7 was the detective in charge of that case who saved them. So, there's one person we don't have an accounting for. Lotus. What's her... According to this, everyone who's involved in the second Nonary game was involved in the first one, minus Junpei. Junpei was never involved in the first Nonary game. I'm guessing Santa's reason for kidnapping Junpei was because he had a bond with Akane when they were in elementary school together. But what does Lotus have to do with this?
That means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonary project.
Minus Ace, who Santa still has yet to get... I think what Santa's planning is the reason he chose Ace and Lotus specifically, plus himself and June, is that he's gonna kill Ace. By way of the incinerator. He's gonna trap Ace in the incinerator and let him feel the same pain that his sister felt when she died that day.
Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project.
You mean this was all just revenge? Santa is Zero. He's getting revenge for the death of his sister.
But there's one more thing. Who is this Akane Kurashiki that we've come to know? Is this really the same Akane Kurashiki?
That's why he killed them.
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone.
In fact, Junpei didn't think he knew. He couldn't explain why or how, but he had no doubt that Santa killed no one. Perhaps the madness of the last several hours was finally driving him insane, but Junpei had ceased to be surprised at his sudden knowledge and even begun to accept it.
If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Santa plans to kill Ace the same way his sister died, the incinerator.
The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
The person who planned the Nonary project.
In other words, Ace.
There was a moment of silence.
What?
No! The ship's flooding! Or they heard the sudden rush of water.
What the hell's going on here?
It must be 6 a.m. Our time is up.
Shit!
In other words, we've got to hurry up and get to the incinerator
Come on,
fast.
we need to get out of here.
How?
In the drawer that held the picture was a key card. Junpei grabbed it.
I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go.
New materials adds to the file screen. Key card 0. Alright, let's just swipe this card. Junpei, look! It's unlocked! Yeah! No, we can go back to the library! Hurry up, Junpei, we don't have time. Let's go! Alright, let's go! You found it! The door opened, they still went to the library. Dude, we still got 5 more paths to go.
Huh. I think the shaking stopped.
It would seem so, but we are yet to be out of danger.
You're right. Let's hurry.
They ran across the hallway,
This exit needs the Uranus card, too.
staring straight for the large metal door. Next to the door was the Uranus card reader.
Hey, Junpei.
Yeah, I know.
They slid the key card through, and the door
All
rumbled
right,
open.
it's open. Let's go.
Out of the library and into the hallway they ran. Hey, wait a second. There's something I don't account for. The knife man. If the knife man was Kubota, why did Ace have him killed? Did he know that was Kubota? Junpei reached into his pocket to pull out the key as he ran toward it.
Okay, Neptune Key. Let's see if you work.
He turned it.
Yes! I think it unlocked.
The clock clicked. As one, they shoved the door open and poured through it. In front of them was another great metal door. Above it was a metal plaque.
It says incinerator. So this is the incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I found it. Junpei ran
Pull
to
that and the door should open.
Got it.
it. Huh. As he spoke, he pulled the lever. The motor on the door groaned as it slowly ground open. There was no time
Let's
to
go.
waste. As soon as the door had opened far enough to admit them, all 4 dashed through. Then suddenly, there before them were the 4 who they'd parted from earlier. Ace and Lotus stood in front of the number 9 door. Sansa was curled into a ball against the wall of the incinerator, holding his stomach. And then there was June. She sat slumped against the wall, exhausted.
What the hell is going on?
What happened? Junpei ran toward June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt down.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
Her face was pale and her lips dry. When she spoke, she could barely hear her.
Junpei, you came to get me.
Of course I did. I made a promise.
I'm so glad you're here. So glad.
What's going on? She mumbled the same words over and over weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking.
What happened to you?
I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though.
Are you sure?
Are you sure, June?
I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me.
She was looking toward Santa. Junpei turned to look as well.
Santa.
What happened? Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Seven even grabbed him by the collar and
Hey,
rolled out.
where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips as Seven shook him.
I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun.
What?
Say?
What? Isn't that obvious?
Ace and Lotus?
I took the gun.
Shit. It's this again. He did indeed have the revolver in his hand. It was pressed against Lotus's temple. Ace had her pinned to him again with the other arm, and she was shaking visibly. Her fiery attitude was gone, replaced by fear. She didn't dare speak. There was sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes were reflecting up to the gun pressed against her, they seemed to desperately want to say something.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals?
Seven's deep baritone rumble shook the walls. Ace
You
stared.
have me at a disadvantage. And I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
The pain of prosopagnosia, right?
Junpei's voice was casual, or at least it was trying to be.
Another irritating insect. And how do you know that?
Good question.
Oh yeah. I guess it's because you told me. Junpei can say he just knew another expert.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go.
Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red. It was placed in a small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner.
First is 1. Give me your hand.
It beeped and he forced Lotus's hand onto it as well.
8. And with this...
And then last, he reached into the pocket of his jacket. He pulled something out and pressed it against the panel. The third asterisk appeared on
9.
the red. The thing he had used for the final verification was the bracelet with the number 9.
The ninth man. Kubota's bracelet.
1 plus 8 plus 9 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9.
I believe I've won this game.
His smirk made Junpei's blood
I've had quite a
boil.
time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is.
Junpei's eyes flickered toward Santa. He hadn't moved since they entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in immense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure if it wasn't either.
The hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait!
Ace, of course, paid no heed to Seven's request and laid hold of the lever on the red. With a sickening sense of finality, he pulled it.
What? Why isn't it opening?
You're an idiot. You're an idiot, Ace. That's not a number 9 bracelet.
One more time.
Lotus tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grasp, but... At the last second, he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it onto the red.
Now open!
He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red and then his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time.
No! What is this? Why? That digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Because that's not a number 9 bracelet, you fool! Ace's fury and confusion had overridden all other thoughts. He had set down the revolver. It was just below
Now!
the red. Seven chose that moment to act. He moved far faster than a man of his bulk should have been able to, and he launched that bulk right straight at Ace. It was over before they knew it. In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. He rolled onto his side, groaning in pain. Lotus ran straight for Junpei. She darted around behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between herself and Ace.
Oh, that was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven.
Yeah, way to duck behind the twig and not the muscle man over there.
Don't mention it.
Seven stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy.
Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, We're gonna have a little chat.
9 years ago? Then you must be...
Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass.
Oh.
I'm the detective from 9 years ago who saved those kids. Junpei walked toward him. He stopped and looked down at Ace with pity on his face.
You killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused.
Right. You don't know yet.
Yeah. You didn't kill Snake. You killed Nijisaki.
All right. We'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital root.
1 plus 9 plus 10 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 plus 2 equals 9. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 3 plus 9 equals 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3.
Which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen. That was why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki, chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him.
Same reason why he killed Clover the first time. She was one of the participants.
That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in.
Wait, then what number is that bracelet?
9 seconds later, the door closed.
If I'd opened door 3...
And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
And you mean to say... Snake is still alive?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man. But I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Ace's self-diversion was frustrating, but Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
I handed it to you, and you left the room. You had been in charge of the nonary project. Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle, which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took, and then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest?
I know they all caused us, but I cannot feel bad for the other men that died.
You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote. But that wasn't really what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate. But what made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace.
That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out.
Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it. But why?
You planned to kill Ace, but you accidentally killed Nijisaki. You intentionally murdered Kubota. But why did you kill Musashido?
Because of this.
Suddenly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a folded piece
What's
of
with
paper.
the paper?
Just read it.
Just give that thing to me. Junpei took it and opened it. This was what it said.
Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. Zero.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck.
So, Zero was giving you a chance to confess, and you just couldn't let it happen. You had to kill Musashido.
I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Because of his prosopagnosia, he had no idea that it was Musashido. Ace had confessed everything. What energy he had left to him was the truth, and he sagged on his knees. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt revulsion for the pathetic man on the floor near his feet, but in among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, Ace had not been the only person who murdered those 3 men. Junpei spoke
Ace,
quietly.
You figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet, in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap.
I feel like it's all gonna be like a story. So what are these other fights for?
Yes. This was a trap. It was Zero's trap. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh?
Seven's face was sad as he spoke.
My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero, and Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh?
Santa's smile was sarcastic and something
Well,
else.
I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1...
Oh, no, we can't. I think we're about to learn... the truth about this nonary game. And we're about to learn about the truth behind this nonary game. Or about Zero's true identity. So, we're gonna stop it off right here. Sorry guys, you know I gotta have cliffhangers. And if I don't, then the stream would go on for 2 hours and I can't have that. No one ain't got 2 hours to watch somebody else's YouTube stream. And I'll see you guys back here in a bit for our Resident Evil 6 gameplay. I love you guys so much. Thanks again for watching, and goodbye.